Welcome live on Checkered Flag Interactive. You are here for some Wednesday night short track action. We are at New Smyrna here tonight for the MiRL, the Vectra Gaming 125. Here tonight, you're going to have Steve Bonesteel and Dalton Alexander up in the booth calling the action for you here tonight. It's going to be a long race for some of these drivers, as maybe they didn't have the greatest Monday, maybe they had a long Tuesday and an even longer Wednesday hump day. Well, here in the middle of the week, they've only got 2 days left of the week, and they are here and they're able to take their frustrations out on the track and maybe give some of the other drivers out on track a run for their money, and they can do it live here on Checkered Flag Interactive. So here, as qualifying starts to wrap up, these drivers will be getting down onto the grid momentarily, and we will be getting underway for some action here tonight at this awesome short track in Florida. This is race number 6 of 19, and the final 3 races of the season are the championship races, basically, and that's going to be exciting to watch how that plays out. And excuse me, man, my reading is just off today. It's actually 16 races. I don't know, it's Wednesday. It's been a long day for me, too. And here live at this track, these drivers just now finishing up qualifying. A lot of drivers within the top 10 just barely separated on time. So it's going to be exciting to watch these guys duke it out throughout the night. As the drivers are now getting down onto the grid, I'd like to welcome up my partner in crime, Dalton Alexander, up into the booth. What are your thoughts going into this race here tonight?
Hi, I think this race is going to be very exciting. This track is one of my all-time favorite tracks in a super late model, and it's always just really close racing, high speeds, fast times, and it's just going to be a really great race.
Yeah, these drivers here in the MiRL, they are always so competitive, Dalton, and I know this is the first time you've tuned in for this league, but these drivers out here, the entire top 10, are pretty much equivalent on the skill level, I would say, especially when it comes to the way they get down on the track. I mean, you will see someone in 10th, sitting in 10th, and then 10 laps later, they're up in 4th, 3rd, 2nd, and then out in the lead. So we've got a lot of competitive drivers here in the MiRL tonight, and we are definitely looking forward to see who can prevail and come out on top here tonight, as the pace car will be rolling off pit road momentarily.
Yeah, looking at these qualifying times, there are some pretty close time, pretty pretty close laps, and it's going to be exciting.
As the pace car now rolls off, I will turn it over to Dalton Alexander to roll through our top 10.
Alright, starting at first, we have the number 61, Ricky Arbo. In the 03, starting outside pole, we have Ronald McKay. Keith Mack starts third. Mike Rhino in the number 34 machine, starting fourth. Jake Goodwin in the 199, starting 5th. Steve Matthews in the 98 machine, starting 6th. Kyle Bordeaux starting 7th in his 65. Number 21, Sean Pierce, starting 8th. 9th is the 05 Todd Cousins, and rounding out the top 10 is Chris Stewart in the number 49.
As the pace car lights go off, the drivers tighten their grip on the steering wheel. They pull those belts tight here, stealing it from what we hear in real-life NASCAR. The pace car will be pulling off in just a moment here. There it goes. The field is to the number 61, and we are green flag racing here at New Smyrna for the Vectra Gaming 125.
A little bit of checking up in the bottom line at that restart, but it looks like everyone turned out all right.
Taking a look right now, Jake Goodwin having all kinds of trouble already early on, getting passed now on the outside by the number 21 of Sean Pierce, and he's going to force the issue going through 1 and 2 here to complete lap number 2. Ricky Arbaugh leading lap number 1 in the 61. The outside line here at New Smyrna can be quite effective, something we don't always see at these short tracks, especially in the super late model. But here, most of the field will stick to about a half a car length off the bottom line. They will arc the corners pretty well off and be using the diamond strategy to go around this course and make the best times throughout the night. You've got to keep your eyes on tire wear because this track is pretty hard on the right front. So as these drivers complete lap number 4 here, things are already getting single file throughout the field.
Yeah, the only real battle we got going on right now is as they just get single file is between the 9 and the 75. But like everyone, the entire field is just nose to tail right now, as I personally expected.
Yeah, definitely, Dalton. For the majority of this race, the field is going to be single file. There's going to be a lot of racing, hard racing at the end of this race for sure, simply because of how it works here at this short track. The field kind of diamonds together, and at the end of this event, I definitely expect to see some bumping, some banging, all sorts of great action here, just as we'd expect on any short track, especially here in the MiRL. These guys are just so good each and every week. Just taking a look now, the 03 was trying to close in on the leader, but Ronald McKay there in the 03 is just not quite getting up to his back bumper, half of a second behind, trying to close in early on here. Plenty of racing left, so he's got all the time in the world to do it, and we're going to look back there. The number 22, Keith Mack, has the number 98 of Stephen Matthews now on his back bumper, giving him a little bit of a run for his money early on in this race. Stephen Matthews working his way up into the top 5, and now he's got Sean Pierce coming up behind him in that yellow number 21, and Sean's looking pretty strong here early on in this race. But that number 22 of Keith Mack has had a very exciting season, and all of the drivers on your screen have been up front in almost every single race. So these are the front runners here in the MiRL, and they are not going to disappoint.
As it looks like our leader, Rick Arbo, has put about 3 or 4 car lengths on the second place car of
That would be Ronald McKay behind him in the 03 as we hop onto the back bumper of the number 61. Everything has been clean and green for the first 11, now 12 laps of this race here in the Vectra Gaming 125. something we don't always see here. These drivers always giving it everything they've got, and a lot of times when it's one of those tracks where you don't have anywhere to go except one single line, you will see a lot of hard racing, which causes accidents early on. But right now we have not seen that, but we do have a battle shaping up for 6th place.
Yeah, as the 38 dives low beneath the 49, just looks like he wasn't able to make it stick that time.
Right now we've got the 199 going after Sean Pierce to retake that 6th position to work his way back up towards the top 5. Jake Goodwin has been strong all season long, and this race he found himself in a tough position on the start of the race, and he could not quite get his car up to speed, but he is doing the best he can right now to make it back up. And as we said earlier, it is a very long race here at this racetrack, so these drivers have a lot of time. And as long as they don't beat their cars up too much, they will be good to go.
Number 98 is also looking like he's trying to take away that 3rd spot from Mike Rhino in the... No, I'm sorry. Steven Matthews in the 98 is trying to take the 4th spot from the 22 car. There we go. But they're racing hard. It looks like there's only a few major battles going on in the field right now.
And the number 21 goes around on your screen. Sean Pierce into the inside wall. They're battling for 6th position. Pulling up the replay on your screen right about now. Going through 1 and 2, Jake Goodwin just gives him the slightest tap, it looks, as he gets a little bit loose there, and around he goes into the inside wall. I'd probably say about a minute worth of damage there on that back bumper at the very most, and that's a high estimation, so he should be pretty good there in that number 21 here at these short tracks and these super late models. These things are like tanks pretty much, and you can beat them all over the place and they can still be pretty competitive. So I do believe as long as he gets some new tires on that number 21 machine and gets back out there, he should be good to go.
Yeah, I believe he'll be all right. It was quite a hit, but it looks very It looked very concentrated to the rear end, so he'll get what he can fixed, but I'm sure he'll be all right the rest of the way.
I don't expect to see anyone in the top 10 really deciding to come down pit road. Not much you can gain from it, but we do have some drivers from about 11th on back thinking about it, but they did not go down the pit lane here under caution. So for the first time tonight, we are under caution, and it looks like we've got a car turned around in front of the field there. Not exactly sure, Dalton, what happened to the number 37. Carson there is just sitting on the inside apron, looking like he's just letting everybody by and he's going to get going. Not sure what happened, but he's got some front end damage there.
Yeah, it looks like he was just trying to get too much speed coming out of pit road and just turned himself around.
Remember, you are watching the Vectra Gaming 125 here on Checkered Flag Interactive with Steve Bonesteel and Dalton Alexander up in the booth. Vectra Gaming is a network that helps provide small YouTube channels grow, give them growth, and they care about their partners. They're not someone that's simply out for the money. They give great shares to their partners, and they do great promotions as well. So head over to vectragaming.co.uk today if you want to give your YouTube channel a head start. But now the pace car lights are off, and I will turn it over to Dalton for the restart here.
Yep, double wide, pace car dips off, and off they go. 61 gets a pretty good jump, and it looks like it's going to be the 61.03 as the rest of the field fights for the rest of the positions.
And we are 2 wide there, coming off of 3 and 4. These drivers doing the best they can to keep off of each other. And it looks like that outside line can be pretty strong on the restarts, especially being since you can pin those drivers down on the bottom line. And we are looking right now at Todd Cousins on the outside of Stephen Matthew. And right in front of them, we've got Jake Goodwin going on the outside of Mike Rhino. And it looks like he will make the pass on Mike there. And it's going to be very close coming off the corner, but he will go around him and move Jake Goodwin up to 4th position there as the battle between Todd Cousins and the number 98 as we've got the 49 going around. Chris Stewart is around, but no caution. Gonna pull up the replay for you there as we stay under green here at the racetrack. He just got a slight tap from the number 9 from behind there that sent him around. He got the inside pit road entrance cone, but no damage on that number 49, and he gets that car turned back around, and he is good to go. But back up towards the front right now, Ricky Arbaugh has about a full second of a lead over the second place driver of Keith Mack there in the zigzag number 22. He is doing everything he can, Keith Mack is, but he just doesn't seem to have quite the pace that our leader does here tonight in the number 61. But, I mean, as we've already said, it's going to be a long race, and the Revolution Racing guys are always strong, and there they are on your screen.
Yeah, as you said, the 61 is just a dominant car. I don't see any other cars in the field having as much. Just none of them have this pace this 61 does. Obviously, none of them have had. Very few of them have had the open space that Arbaugh does, but it is interesting to watch the 199 go through the field. I think he may have something that he's trying. He's getting up there. He had a rough start in the very beginning of the race, but it looks like he's starting to slowly draw back positions that he lost in the beginning.
Yeah, you can tell Jake Goodwin there in the 199 is doing the best he can, and he's got a lot of ground to make up. He started pretty well. He just could not find the bottom line, and that ended up actually forcing him further back into the field, but right now he's doing everything he can to recover some of that track position here and get back up towards the front. But the thing is, if we don't get a caution by the time he gets clear of these cars, I've got a feeling the leader here will be about 4 or 5 seconds ahead, and that's going to be a massive gap to make up, even in over less than 100 laps. We've got about 90 laps left to go here, and I mean, even in that amount of time, it's still really tough for drivers to be that fast.
Yep, and as you were talking, Jake Goodwin goes around the 03. Jake Goodwin is now in 3rd place, following Keith Mack, who is now about a little over 2 seconds behind our leader. We currently have 21 cars on the lead lap. I think everyone who started the race is on the lead lap. And yeah.
There on your screen, you just saw the number 65 go up in the outside wall, having issues there. He needs to in the field.
We may be having some technical difficulties with Steve here, but we'll get to that quickly.
Nope, I am still good to go, Dalton.
Oh, my apologies. It sounded like you were cutting in and out for me.
There on your screen now, the number 61 has continued to pull away from the field here, and we are now under caution. Big wreck on the backstretch in front of the leader there. Pulling up the replay right now on your screen, and Tim Big Sexy Terry is involved in this one, and it stems from the number 65 getting up into the wall yet again, coming down in front of Tim, and he catches the outside retainer wall, and then he gets slammed into the number 65 once again. So that will make it, I think, 6 for 6 for Tim here. He's been involved in a wreck in every single race this season, and that is tough, especially being since he's one of the league owners here. And I mean, he hasn't even gotten to really finish a race without damage on that car. So the number 75, Tim Terry, not too happy with what just happened over the radio there, and he's going to pull it down pit road, and I've got a feeling that car will be done for the night.
Yeah, it looks like the 65 was having problems. He may have gotten into the wall and a few other cars, and it looks like he may have been trying to get to the bottom, and Terry was also trying to get there, and they just collided.
Take a moment now and head over to Checkered Flag Interactive's Facebook, give it a search on the search bar, and leave us a wall post. Explain why Checkered Flag Interactive would be your choice in iRacing broadcasting. Tell us a little bit about your league, when they race, what kind of car you race, and you might just win a free broadcast from Checkered Flag Interactive. Get your wall post in before Christmas, December 25th at midnight right there. That would be Eastern Standard Time. Get your wall post in. You will be randomly selected. And remember, this is only for iRacing broadcast, and it's one free broadcast valued at $25. The only fees you may be applicable to would be the $5 track fee or car fee if we do not have that track already. But definitely getting your league broadcasted is a great way to get more fans and expand your reach, because you can view your broadcast for years to come, upload it on YouTube, upload it on your own YouTube. Plenty of options here from Checkered Flag Interactive. As you can see, the MiRL has been partnered with us for quite some time, and we are now ready to take the green flag in just a moment, as we've got 2 to go. The pace car lights should be going off this time by.
The restart looks like we're going to have the 61, Ricky Arbo, who's led every single lap so far, I do believe. On his outside is the 9 of Craig McDonald. Jake Goodwin, who started 5th and had those struggles, he's starting 4th. And Keith Mack is starting 4th in his zigzag number 22.
The pace car dives down pit road. The 61 is away yet again. Second time of the night, second caution of the night, and he dives down to the corner. Craig McDonald on his back bumper there, giving him a hard run. The only car that did not pit was the number 61. So he is out there on older tires than everyone else, and we're going to be watching to see how he handles in front of these guys on fresher tires.
Yeah, he got a great jump, and it looks like Craig McDonald might be, he's got his handfuls in the mirror with Goodwin right there. And they're starting to stack up behind the 9, but it looks like they're starting to slowly get back single file, as the 61 is about half a car length in front of the number 9.
Going up into the CFI blimp, taking a look at the top of the field here, you've got Ricky Arbo and the number 61 here for the Vectra Gaming 125, leading all of the laps so far. And you've got the drivers right behind him, the number 9, the 199, and the 22. All of those drivers racing incredibly hard right now on fresher tires in comparison to the number 61, but Ricky has been strong so far in the early beginning parts of this race, so we will have to see if he can manage to stay out in front. But right now, our second place driver, Craig McDonald, has Jake Goodwin all over his back bumper there on your screen, and you can tell that he's got his hands full, and also he's trying to make the pass on the leader at the same time, so he has trouble on both sides of his car, and he has to keep his eyes not only in front of him but on his mirror as Jake Goodwin again looks to go well, but he will double think about that and not make that move. But right now it is just a waiting game for Jake Goodwin. When will the number 9 slip up, or when will the number 61 slip up, and when will Craig McDonald be able to pass him going around these corners or somewhere else as he blinks out there? That's the distraction Jake Goodwin needed to make his move down to the bottom lane there. And we've got two wide racing there, a little bit of contact coming off the corner, and Jake Goodwin will have to fall back in line with Keith Mack going on his high side now in the number 22.
Yeah, it looks like our leader may be having some connection issues. Hopefully that quits itself relatively quickly, as it's very dangerous to have a blinking car like that, especially right in the beginning, right at the front of the field.
Yeah, something big issue that could cause is he could blink out and the number 9 drives through him, and when he blinks back into the simulator, his car could either do one of two things. It could be solid, or it could be not so solid, as the number 9 almost goes around with a bump from the 199. He will save it there, beautiful save, but he will lose at least one position there.
Yeah, it looks like a few times the 199 has gotten into McDonald, and looks like the 199 just hit him a little bit too hard that time and just moved him out of the way. Unfortunately for the 9, it looks like he's just got to get back into his groove, as there's a few cars passing him on the outside.
Yeah, which is impressive. We talked about it early on. The outside, as long as it's used correctly, can be the lane of choice here at the short track, and it looks like these drivers going around right now are using it to the best of their ability. The number 65, their mid-pack on the high side, causing a little bit of havoc there for these drivers. Calamity Corner shaping up to take place any moment now if we get more action like that. Ronald McKay back into the 6th place spot, with Craig McDonald falling back to 5th. There's Tim Terry on the outside, somehow got that car fixed. We got a little bit of trouble behind him there. Drivers getting loose.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they're pushing harder, but or if the tires are starting to wear out a little bit more, but it looks like the last few laps there have been a few cars that are getting a little squirrely coming out of 2 and 4.
Looking at this
three wide past these lap cars.
Yeah, Dalton, incredibly hard racing right now. Only 61 laps into this race. We're coming to halfway here. This race flying by. You are live at Checkered Flag Interactive for the Vectra Gaming 125, the MiRL for race number 6 of 16 here.
And we've got the battle.
Trouble on your screen there. We've got a couple cars around, but no caution yet. There's the caution. Tim Terry involved in another one, and Sean Pierce getting involved in that one. We've got a situation coming out of 3 and 4, pulling up the replay for you now. Todd Cousins there has Sean Pierce on his outside. He pushes him up into the wall. He gets stuck up on his hood. The 189 goes low. He gets shot back up into the number 21 there, and he just kind of backs that car up in front of the number 75 and 65, and the caution comes out. So now officially halfway through this race, these leaders are all now coming down pit road for the majority. Christopher Garnett staying out in the 0-2. So we will see if he will be able to hang out towards the front, just as we saw earlier on from the number 61 of Ricky Arbo. But we are going to head over to a quick commercial break. Do not go away. Checkered Flag Interactive with Steve Bonesteel and Dalton Alexander will be back in a moment. Back live at Newsom Arena here for the Vectra Gaming 125, the Maritime Racing League presented by Checkered Flag Interactive. Just a reminder that this league is brought to you in part by timscorner.ca, the voice of the Maritime Racing League. This race is also brought to you by Vectra Gaming, the title sponsor for tonight's event. Vectra Gaming is a YouTube partnership network that helps small channels grow, and they care about their partners a lot, so definitely check them out at vectragaming.co.uk if you want to get your YouTube channel a quick head start here. Pace car lights are off, and we are ready for the green flag.
Yeah, I'm sure it's going to get a little bit dicey. It looks like the 199 may have beat the 61 off pit road, and the 02 on old tires gets a great jump. Looks like the 98 is going to drop in behind him going into turn 1. Oh no, the 98 is going to look to the outside.
What a move by Stephen Matthews there, the 02 getting loose, a little bit of situation behind him, the 199 getting up into the 61, 61 all the way up by the wall there. He is going to lose a couple positions on that little shoving match, and right now Stephen Matthews is going to use this opportunity to pull away as the 02 of Christopher Garnett again checks up the outside line. This will allow the 199 of Jake Goodwin to dive down onto the inside line along with Keith Mack, as Ricky Arbaugh, our leader of the first 65 laps, is trapped behind the 02, and we've got a caution.
Looks like there's a few repeat offenders in this one. Sean Pierce looks like he was around again.
Going up into the choppa to take a look at what happened here. A little bit of a net code issue between the 21 and the 71 there. George White and Sean Pierce. The number 65 of Kyle Boudreau just barely squeaked by on the inside there, but not much they could have done there since it was a net code issue.
Yeah, can't put anyone at fault. Looks like they're just iRacing netcode, like you said. Hopefully there's no hard feelings between those two guys and they can just race it out.
If any of you guys are just now tuning in, head over to the Twitch chat, give us a shout out, tell us what you think of the broadcast here tonight, and we might even bring in some drivers. Chris Garnett later on from that number 02. We'll bring him up into the booth and we'll have a quick in-race report with how his race is going.
Yeah, it'll be interesting looking what this 61 can do. Ricky, he got trapped. He was holding his own against the number 199 until that 02 on old tires really held up the entire outside line. So our most dominant car so far is now in 6th place, but it'll be interesting to see what he can do.
We are going to be going back to green very shortly, but just to preview the upcoming weeks here for the MiRL. This is week number 6, and we have 2 weeks off, and then we come back January 7th for an exciting event at Oxford Plains, the egg-shaped oval. That's going to be an exciting race for sure. You will be turning left the entire time there for 250 laps at that short track. Then from there we go to Irwindale, Thompson Speedway, Indianapolis. That's going to be an interesting one. Langley, Richmond, Rockingham, or the Monster Mile, I do believe. I'm looking at the schedule. I do believe that one's still up in the air. Then we've got 1 week off, and then we head to USA International, and the Championship Series has South Boston, New Smyrna, and then Lanier National.
Lights are off. They are 2x2, and it looks like we're going to have the number 98 of Stephen Matthews. On his outside, there's going to be Jake Goodwin, and then it's all back from there. The pace car peels off. The 22 gives the 98 a few shoves to get started, and off they go.
Diving down in a 1 and 2 side by side, these drivers in the super late models giving it everything they've got there. The top 5 all side by side. Ricky Arbaugh all alone there. Taking a look there, Christopher Garnett continuing to drop back on the outside line. Mike Rhino diving down inside of the 0-2 there. And we've got the 55 Mackenzie Brewer making his way up in the top 10 now with Travis Roma on his outside. Very tight battle here for 8th position.
Looks like 03 almost got moved out of the way by a number
big
61.
Wreck. Big wreck. Sorry, Dalton. We've got a huge wreck on the front straightaway. Huge wreck.
Yeah, I noticed. I saw the first part. Looks like the 61 and the 03 just got together, and the commotion caused by that backed up a few cars and caused the wreck that you see on the front stretch.
Pulling up another replay there on your screen, focusing around the numbers 34 of Mike Rhino, who just plowed right into that one right there. Coming off the corner, the 61 got into the 03, and 34 got turned around by Christopher Garnett. And then more drivers piled into that. The 49 gets turned up by Tim Terry there. Very tough incident going down the front straightaway. So after our first really long run of the race, we've really had a caution spree, and with that being said, laps are really starting to run down. If we get a green flag run, that will pretty much be that for the night. And a lot of drivers now who are running towards the top 10 and even better are having some big issues now, like the number 21, Sean Pierce, the number 34 of Mike Rhino, and of course Ronald McKay, who at one point was sitting in 3rd place, is now sitting outside the top 10. As we pull up the running order on your screen right now, we've got Stephen Matthews out in the lead, Jake Goodwin in 2nd, Keith Mack 3rd, Ricky Arbaugh in, now he's in 4th, Craig McDonald in 5th, Mackenzie Brewer 6th, Todd Cousins 7th, Jeff Gilmore 8th, Kyle Boudreau 9th, and Ronald McKay rounding out the top 10.
Yeah, I'm sure if, like you said, laps are winding down. It's roughly about 40 laps to go, and you know they've been getting pretty racy as of late. So looks like there might be even more racing going on, and it could get pretty ugly.
For those of you at home asking, this is iRacing.com simulation live from New Smyrna. brought to you by Checkered Flag Interactive. Yes, you can broadcast these races live, and yes, you can do replays of the races. So here as the pace car comes off, the iRacing.com first Ford Mustang will be pulling on down once again for the 6th caution of the night. The 98 of Stephen Matthews is in the lead with the 199 of Jake Goodwin to his outside. We are away. Jake Goodwin on the outside getting a great jump. And that's going to be interesting to watch him in 1 and 2 there on the outside line. He will clear the leader. The number 98 will fall into 2nd place. The number 61 coming around the outside. Excuse me for that slight burp. Whoops. That's going to be one of those slip-ups that gets brought up on YouTube, I've got a feeling, Dalton, as we watch the number 98 now in 2nd place, working on the back bumper of the 199. Look at that, the number 61, Ricky Arbo back up there. We got a car going around Mike Rhino.
Rhino's struggles continue as he goes around on the front straightaway. Looks like he got a little bit of... Looks like he got... Oh, looks like his motor blew right before... And then 03 had nowhere to go.
Not entirely sure what happened to him there. Maybe we'll get a chance to chat with him later on, but we've still got the battle for the lead. These 3 cars definitely giving everything they've got.
Yeah, Jake Goodwin just got a great jump on the leader at the beginning of that, on the green flag. And he just muscled his way into the lead over that 98 car. As we also got the 61 in 3rd place. Don't count him out. He's been up there. He's led the most laps in this event. So he has one of the stronger cars. So don't think it's just a 2-car race now.
Yeah, laps are winding down, Dalton. It doesn't really feel like it as we've only been racing for about 40 minutes now, but these drivers out here, they do have the sense of urgency, and they really do need to start picking it up if they want to get a chance at this win, because if you're caught in 10th place right now, 5 seconds behind like Sean Pierce, you're going to have a big issue. The entire front pack, though, is bumper to bumper there, and you see the entire top 5 right there. You can throw them under a blanket, they're so close.
Yep, you were not lying. This is these drivers are providing great racing, and it's a shame I can't be here every week.
I am not lying, nor am I kidding right now. Ha ha ha. But we've got this top 5 as the caution comes out once again. We've got problems going into 1 and 2 for Ronald McKay once again. Up into the chopper, taking a look at what's going on. The 03 already loose off of 3 and 4. He comes down, collects the 49. That will expire the 03. Sean Pierce piles into that one yet again, and that is a tough break for him.
Yeah, big hit between the 03 and the 49. Looks like the 03 may... Looks like the...
We are going to pull the 02 of Christopher Garnett up into the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, 10-4.
Well, I know you're having a little bit of a tough night out here. New Smyrna can be a very brutal racetrack, but tell us a little bit about Vectra Gaming.
Well, from my standpoint anyways, it's a YouTube network system that I'm a part of, and they try to help out like low end, well, small channels, I guess, to help them grow and help them just get noticed and all that stuff.
Tell us a little bit about the racing out there. I know your 02 machine's a little bit beat up, but what do you think of the racing? Pretty incredible, isn't it?
Well, I'll it was nice to be leading a couple laps, but not pitting kind of had a effect on me. But other than that, I'm actually surprised at how great the racing has been there today.
All right, Chris, before the pace car lights go off, I will give you one chance here. Who do you have to thank for bringing your car here tonight for this race?
I would like to thank Steve Barnett for letting me join part of Vectra Gaming, and we gotta go.
Alright, that was the very hasty voice of the number 02 of Christopher Garnett from Vectra Gaming, making a special appearance here tonight in the MiRL, the Maritime Racing League.
Yep, pace car lights are off as they're traveling through 3. Going into 4, the pace car is going to drop Jake Goodwin, the number 199, outside the number 22. Goodwin gets a great leap, just leaves the rest of the field behind, and McDonald is underneath the 22. So McDonald might have a little bit of a beef with Goodwin as he got moved earlier. So it's going to be interesting to see what would happen if that number 9 gets up there.
Yeah, definitely, Dalton. I have to agree with you there. That number 9, Craig McDonald, looks very strong. That number 9 with impact on the door there. He has been strong at many points this season. He's just caught the wrong end of the stick, but you watch him dive it down in the 3 and 4, and he really gets that car woed up to get down there on exit. So that number 9 definitely looking strong all the way up onto the back bumper. Jake Goodwin right there.
Yeah, one thing that I'm watching him do versus other drivers is he's really throwing it in there into the turns, and he's still maintaining a ton of exit speed, so it's not hurting him, and it's kind of surprising that he's getting that good of a. He's really the only driver you see doing that.
Going on board the nose of the number 9 there, right on the inside of Jake Goodwin, diving down in the turns 1 and 2. Not quite clear, but he's going to be side by side there, and he almost makes contact. Almost slips up and gets Jake Goodwin there, still right behind him, trying to make that pass, trying so hard to make that pass.
Yeah, and we got the 98 lurking too, so if the 9 and the number 199 get into each other, the 98's going to be right there to take advantage.
Now on board the gyro cam with Craig McDonald, still in second place. He is faster than Jake Goodwin. He just cannot quite make the pass. He's going to look to the inside once again. Not going to make it where you're coming down with about 21 laps to go now. And New Smyrna, he's all the way on the apron to make that pass happen. It's not going to quite get there. This battle is heating up for the lead there. Man, this is some great racing.
Beautiful as he dives it again underneath that 199, and the 98's going to try to make something happen outside the 9.
The number 9 gets loose there. Stephen Matthews driving it into the backstretch, looking strong going down into the corner.
Slight contact between the 9 and the 98, and the 98's going to try to make a move on the outside of. He looks like he's going to make the pass.
Contact and around they go.
Each other. Rough ending for both the 9 and the 98 as they looks like just hard racing. The 199 checks up into the number 98, and it's all carnage from there.
Not entirely sure that is exactly how I thought that was going to go down, Dalton. I thought we were going to have a completely different route, but number 9, his engine has expired. That is a tough break for both the 9 and the number 98 of Stephen Matthews.
Yeah, very unfortunate for that number 9. He had a rough run-in with the number 199 earlier in the race that set him back, and it looks like he was starting to catch his groove again. And Just unfortunate racing accident. Wasn't necessarily anyone's fault. It's just what happens when you got short track racing at its finest.
We are going to head off to one more quick commercial break on Checkered Flag Interactive. Do not go away. Our final run, probably from New Smyrna, will be live when we come back. Back live here at New Smyrna as these drivers are getting ready to go green flag racing once again. Mackenzie Brewer is now up to that third place spot. What a run for him there. He's going to have a lot on his plate though, trying to get around the leaders. The number 61 who led the majority of the beginning of the race is now back up there.
It's going to be a great race as the 199 and the 61 go around, following that pace car just a little bit until that pace car drops down like it just did, and the 199 takes off again. 61 is going to fall in behind him, and the 55, 05, and 22 are going to race it out for third.
Ooh, things are getting close. A little bit of contact between the 55 and the number 22 there of Keith Mack, with Todd Cousins up on the outside line. This is the battle for third. The battle for the lead is starting to heat up between Ricky Arbaugh and Jake Goodwin. You called it earlier, Dalton, and I called it earlier for the number 61. You said Jake Goodwin looked like he was strong, and I thought maybe only the car that was only fastest was the number 61. But here they are. They both are there. Only this time now Jake Goodwin's in the lead.
And a caution flies.
Kevin Savory goes around there, getting a shot from Tim Terry going into the corner, 3 and 4. Don't think that really played a role in what happened coming off the corner, as Stephen Matthews got loose off the corner and slams the 189 into the outside wall. But this does set us up for about a 6-lap shootout to the finish, I do believe. And that's going to make this last little bit of this race incredibly exciting. And right now, Jake Goodwin is in the cat seat. It's his race to lose. Keith Mack is in third, and Mackenzie Brewer is in fourth.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what happened there. Looks like the 98 just turned up into the... What may have overcorrected, or I don't know what happened there. I'm sure frustrations may have played a part in that. Looks like in that last incident there may have almost been a glitch in the system, which may have tricked the driver, the number 98, into thinking he was doing something other than what he was.
As the pace car gets the 2 to green this time by, we're going to have about 5 laps remaining here for the Vectra Gaming 125 and New Smyrna live on Checkered Flag Interactive with Dalton Alexander and Steve Bonesteel up into the booth. This is the Maritime Racing League, and this has been an exciting season so far. We've seen Jake Goodwin and Ricky Arbaugh both battle it out multiple times. Don't forget Keith Mack there in the number 22. He has been out front quite a bit this season as well. So here, as the pace car lights go off, the field doubles up. This will probably be our last chance to get some green flag racing in. So these drivers got to buckle down, get their seatbelts on, and keep their eyes peeled, and hopefully keep their bumpers clean for the most part here. As the pace car lights are off, we are doubled up behind the iRacing.com first pace car as it gets ready to head down pit road, probably for the last time here tonight.
This time it's the outside pole sitter, the 61 car, getting the jump on the 199, but it looks like he may not... Oh, there's contact. It's still side by side on the backstretch.
Diving it down into 3 and 4, it's getting very close for the lead. Keith Mack now in the action, going low on Jake Goodwin. Jake Goodwin holding the middle line. Ricky are back to the lead with 4 laps remaining. Caution is out, the race is over.
Sit.
Stephen Matthews, another repeat offender here ever since he went around about 20 laps ago. He has been in all the cautions following. Pulling up the replay on your screen, he's behind the 0-3. Ronald McKay there, it looks like the situation was not even started in front of him. And Tim Terry, definitely getting extremely frustrated, wrecked out of another race completely. We'll take a look at what happened to him in just a moment. Up into the chopper there, the 21 split the gap between the 65 and the 0-2, and the 65, Kyle Boudreau, just got the outside wall, comes down onto the 75, and he comes into the 98.
My, what a race. It's real unfortunate it had to end with a yellow, but it was still a great race at the end. Looks like number 61 is going to take the win, followed by the 199. And those two were arguably the best cars in the event. 61, I believe, may have led the most laps, but in the 199 was very aggressive, and he had the times to beat the number 61. It just didn't play out in his favor.
And you were right, Dalton. Ricky Arbaugh did lead the most laps here as they crossed the line. Coming around the corner, they will be crossing the line here momentarily, and the race will be over. Very exciting race here, as we expected. The MiRL never disappoints. It's always a lot of fun here on Checkered Flag Interactive. We have 2 weeks off, and then we come back January 7th, I do believe, at Oxford Plains for the second of 3 Triple Crown events. So definitely got to tune in for that one. And the race is now over. We will pull up the finishing order on your screen. The Vectra Gaming 125 was an exciting event here on Checkered Flag Interactive, as we expected. Ricky getting the win there, Jake Goodwin second, Keith Mack third, Mackenzie Brewer fourth, Jeff Gilmore fifth, Todd Cousins sixth, Sean Pierce finishing in seventh, Christopher Garnett in eighth, Kyle Boudreau in ninth, with Stephen Matthews rounding out the top 10 after a pretty horrid night.
Finishing 11th, we had Ronald McKay. George White was 12th. Tim Big Sexy Terry, 13th. Kevin Savory finished 14th, 12 laps down. Craig McDonald, who looked like he could have been a contender for the win, unfortunately 19 laps down after being caught up into a Incident late, Nathan Dory, Chris Stewart, Mike Rhino, Travis Roma, Carson Aub, and John Fitzpatrick. Round out the field, there were 21 cars that entered, 9 finished on the lead lap.
It was a very brutal race, Dalton. The first, I'd say, 65 laps there, we had only 2 cautions, and then from that point on, we had quite a few after that, and that definitely put a damper on some of the racing we saw throughout the night. But there on your screen, the number 61 comes away victorious. That will pretty much wrap things up for tonight. We're going to pull our winner up into the booth very quickly here. Do not go away. We will be back in about 30 seconds with an interview from our winner. Back live here at the track where we have our winner in the number 61. Ricky, you got a copy?
Yeah, sure do.
Congratulations on the win out there. You got a great start of the race. You led the entire 60 opening laps there. And then on a restart, you found yourself in a little bit of trouble after you stayed out. And you ended up coming down pit road the next caution and getting caught up behind a slower driver there. What, did you think you were finding yourself in a big problem once you got caught up on that high side?
Yeah, I was a little worried out there. Definitely a little slower than I was used to running for the night, and I just did my best to stay off him. I knew I was going to pin there. My spotter was, telling me there's just a line inside you, just stay where I'm at. So I just stared forward and stayed off him and let it all play out. And I knew I had a good car all night. I wasn't too worried when I didn't have tires. I felt like I didn't really hold them up too much. Like, say, I wasn't obviously as fast as I was on tires, but I was trying to go like I did last week and late, and that's we pitted about, I think, halfway or just halfway is when we pitted, and I also got some damage. I got caught up. I believe with Jake there, him and I got together there early on in the race, and I think his right rear was a little dinged up, my left front a little dinged up, so the car changed a little bit, but it was still strong.
Alright, really quick, before we get the number 55 of Mackenzie Brewer up here, who do you have to thank for getting that number 61 to victory lane here tonight?
Oh, mainly Nick Story, Energy Hour Productions. Again, those guys have been on me now for 3 or 4 seasons, couple championships. That guy there definitely makes it happen. Of course, my father, Buff and Stuff Custodial, Robert Lee at Our Lee Renovations, Home Depot Installation Services, and definitely, again, got to thank the girlfriend for putting up with it.
Alright, good stuff. Congratulations once again on your win here tonight.
Thanks, guys. You guys do a fantastic job on the stream. Keep it up.
Thank you very much. And now we've got Mackenzie Brewer, the driver of the number 55. You got a copy?
Gotcha.
Well, it was a little bit of a tough race. You didn't quite have exactly the car, I guess you could have to really maintain that top 5, but you were able to do it anyhow at the end there. What were your thoughts, especially throughout those cautions? At one point, you were just around the outside the top 10, and then as some of the drivers towards the front started getting knocked down, you found yourself in prime position to pick up some free spots on the track. How did that feel?
Well, I mean, it definitely played out in our. I mean, we didn't have the best car there. I mean, worked hard on it throughout the practice session, just didn't have the car we needed. I mean, a little bit of strategizing there and cautions and some wrecked cars definitely helped us out.
Are you disappointed that we had a lot of cautions, or is that something that played into your, successful finish here tonight?
Well, for me, the cautions were definitely a good thing. Like I said, we didn't have that good of a car. I mean, the cautions just played out perfectly because a couple really top-notch cars there. They tore up and managed to keep clicking off position one by one by one. And
All right, 10-4, really quick before we tune it off for the night, who do you have to thank?
I'd like to thank CFM Suspensions for helping me out with this car all week. It's been a rough time, but we got her going. I'd like to thank my grandparents for putting up with me down here racing, and I'd like to thank you guys for all the work that you guys do.
All right, thank you very much. Congratulations on the pretty good finish here tonight at this very tough track. All right, Dalton, that will wrap things up here tonight for Checkered Flag Interactive. The MiRL goes on a 2-week vacation, as does quite a few of the other leagues we will be covering. Tomorrow night we go live from Pocono, I do believe, in the Upper Edge CMC Sportsman Series. And then on Sunday night we've got some more super late models. Tune in around 9 p.m. for that one. But no Rose IndyCar Series this week, and then next week I don't believe we have any races. So we will be coming back to you probably around the new year. Thank you for making 2014 a very successful year, everybody that tuned in, and thank you guys from the MiRL for bringing us on board. Great race tonight. We will see you next time at Oxford Plains.